Hello everyone, welcome back to the Big Bad Bench. My name is John, aka Big Bad Biologist, and today we are going to work on two systems that have AMD processors, and those processors are 30 years apart. So we'll start off talking about this. So this giant honking board right here is the 286 board that we were working on last weekend. And we fixed some stuff. We kind of got it booting. There were weirdly cracked capacitors. And so I bought the capacitors that we need to fix those. So we'll do that later. And this is obviously part of doscember, right? And so the other thing we're going to work on is this, which is an AMD FX-8320. Oh, that way. There you go. Now you can kind of see it. And this is part of Tech Ambrosia's, what is it called? The Cheap PC Challenge 2023. And so we'll talk more about this as we get going. So let's say hi to folks in the chat. We got Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. We got Trina's Techno Babble, Alan Gracia, Garth Beagle, Epictronics, and Vic the Vicar, and Gut Bomb, and Steve Mac84. How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for being here. This is a holiday extravaganza, merging two different holidays or events, or whatever you want to call them, all in one day here. And so, yeah, let's get started on this one. So with this system, this case that we're going to use for this system was something I bought a while ago, and I was planning on just dumping the case because I bought the case for one very particular reason. So this case might look kind of familiar to you in that stream where we took apart a Asus BP6 or ABIT BP6 motherboard for Epictronics. I had a very similar case, and this is just an Antec case, full tower, and Coolants reused this case for one of their systems, so that's what that was. But this is the reason I bought this computer. So look at this. That is a floppy drive that has memory card readers in it. How freaking cool is that? That is a sexy little thing right there. So this case was from a dude, actually a few months ago, a month ago. When did we do the blue and white G3s? This was from the guy with the blue and white G3s. And he had this and he's like, oh, you know, 20 bucks. You want to throw this in there with all that stuff? And I was like, heck yeah. So that came home with me because of that floppy drive. I didn't really need another case, but it's here. So let's build a system in it. Let's see what I've missed here. Ho, 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 boot, damn it. Rally Scoots here. How's it going? What else? Yes, two events. Doscember and the Cheap PC Challenge 2023. Does the floppy drive have both IDE and floppy connector? No, this floppy drive is purely a regular old floppy connector, but then it has USB for the card reader thing. Eric Randell, too sexy, don't show Trina. So yeah, I didn't really need more ATX cases, but here we go. So one thing I noticed is that these standoffs are all loose, and oh, that one's stripped. Okay, there we go, that's great. That floppy drive isn't anything special. Are you kidding me? That's very special. It's a very special floppy drive. All right, so that middle standoff is stripped. I guess we should actually see. And that one's stripped. Steve has very special rusted drives. And Eric's edges here. Oh, look at this. So apparently the previous owner knew that there was an issue here, and he decided to try to put tape around the standoff to make it work right. We're not going to do that. So these standoffs are 3mm. So what we're going to do is force in a 632 standoff into those spots. Normally I wouldn't do that kind of thing. It's kind of mean. Okay. So the other thing is that these are 3mm standoffs and they have a 3mm internal. Yes, the previous owner was janky. It's like he knew where this thing was gonna go. Okay, yeah, so that works fine with the 632 standoff there. All right, so we're cranking right along. So, while I'm, oh, no, that one's tight. Okay, good. While I'm working on this, so what was I going to say? Actually, these all look like 632 standoff holes. Yeah, these are 632 standoff holes. So for some reason, they have 3mm standoffs in them. What the what? What the what? Yep. 632 standoff holes, so I got to take all these standoffs off now. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that you should do before stream, John, so that people aren't bored watching you put standoffs in a motherboard. Yes, this is my screw organizational system. I have a little toolbox. Put all my 3mm screws in one slot, all my 632s in another slot. Got all my standoffs in another slot. It's about the only part of me that's very organized. And then what am I going to use this build for? That is a good question. So, Tech Ambrosia has the cheap PC challenge, right? So you have to build a PC that will do whatever tasks for under $100, and you know, you sort of benchmark it. But part of her test is that you got to have something interesting to do with it. And honestly, I don't have anything. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Though I've never had an AMD FX system before. So this will just be fun to play with for the time being while I come up with an interesting usage for it. But hopefully we can come up with something fun. Let's see what we need for standoffs here. Okay, so we're gonna need one there. Gonna need one there. Yeah, the AMD FX was something I kind of skipped over. I had Core 2 systems, and then I used them for a really long time. And then the i7s came out, and so like, you know, this CPU came out in, I think, 2012. And, you know, at the time you could get an i7 2600 for, you know, sort of a similar price. This one has 8 cores. The i7 2600 has 4 cores with hyper-threading. Yeah, but these wound up using a lot of heat, so maybe we'll use this to heat my workshop. Yeah, it would be a solid XP system. This is kind of a neat board that came with this. It has both SLI and Crossfire support, which is cool. Not super rare, but it's a nice feature to have for playing around with. So I got to figure out like what kind of video card would be good for a 2012 build. I have like a GTX 280 or 285 around here somewhere that I think would be a nice video card for this thing. It's a cat box. No, it's not a cat box. That was what happened to my ATI 9600, or 9800, unfortunately. Let's see. Need one more standoff here. All right. So yeah, Tech Ambrosia had our cheap PC challenge, and I built a system using a old IBM server. So it wound up being a 12 core, 24 thread system, 24 gigs of RAM, and I had a GTX 1660 in it, and that ultimately will be used for my portable streaming rig. But she changed the rules on us, right? So I built that system with the $100 price point in mind, but just a couple weeks ago, she updated the rules, and now there's a bonus for coming in under $100. And so I think it's 10 points for every dollar or something like that. And so that system, I wound up spending like $97 on it. So, there wasn't much of a bonus. Yeah, this could be a Hackintosh. I don't know. Normally I like to use Intel stuff because it just worked better back in the day, but I haven't done a Hackintosh in a long time. Look at this. It still has the peel on it. Let's do the peel. Oh yeah, look at that. So this motherboard, the processor, the RAM, and there's a heatsink, the Cooler Master Hyper 212 that came with it, and a GTX 1060. $40 for that setup. So what do you think about that? That was a pretty rockin' deal, in my opinion. So I bought it, and then I was like, I guess we can try to use this for the cheap PC challenge thing. Actually, I haven't tested this yet, though. Yeah, I'm not fancy enough to have sexy music with my videos. Maybe someday. I gotta hang out with Gutbomb more. He's an excellent video producer. Everyone should go check out his video that he released this week. Normally I would kind of go nuts making sure all my screws match, but for this build we're gonna go kind of quick, and we're gonna get screws that kind of sort of match. Good enough. We're doing this for the rush. Going quick. Need to build this thing. Steve has a P4 system to build. Nice. Did you get that from Trina? She had so many P4 systems. If you ever need parts for P4 systems, just let me know, Steve. I have so many. Hey, Bacchus. Merry December. Oh yeah, and I think Trina put it in the chat, but in case you didn't know, Dave's not doing his normal Sunday stream this week. So Trina's taken over yet again, and we'll be doing a 12-hour stream tomorrow. Okay, so that should be all those. This is kind of weird. The retention, you can kind of see it there. The retention clips for the RAM are not all the same size. That's weird. That is very weird. Let's put in our video card. Oh, you got to take your protective cover off. All right, so these things draw a lot of power. So hopefully a 600 watt power supply should be enough. So we're gonna go with this EVGA BR600. Yeah, it could theoretically be on purpose that they did that. I don't see any reason why you have to have your RAM slots all be the same. Or maybe the manufacturers, since they wanted the different colors, different manufacturers or something along those lines. Gonna need some 632s to hold this on. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if Trina gets her full 12 hours in tomorrow. We should have odds. Who wants to make a odds on how many hours Trina gets to tomorrow? Yeah, so if you were only doing 2, you'd have them most likely in the 2nd and 4th RAM slots to start off with. Doing all the screws, all the screws. Nobody's hating on Trina. We love Trina. It's just she loves her naps. All right. Oh yeah, this is the other reason. You'll see it soon. I'll have to shut the lights off. The other reason I really wanted this case for the fans that were in there. There's some really beautiful early 2000s coloration here. Not RGB. Definitely not RGB. I know I have massive respect for Dave and crew when you do your 12-hour streams. I know at most I can do about 2 hours before I sort of, I don't know, put myself to sleep or I get tired. I can't go. But I'm not gonna advertise doing a 12-hour stream. Unless like maybe some point if we need to do a charity stream for someone, something like that. I'd be happy to do that. I'd push through. Okay, main power connector in. Get our CPU power connector in. So what I'm hoping to do here is just get this booted, off and running, doing the benchmarks, and then we can start working on that 286 system. Okay, so there's that. So here's our Hyper 212. I think I'm gonna have to take the fan off. This also has a sexy blue fan. Oh, did I tell you that the other fans were blue? Oh well. Okay, so these, well, you gotta put that in there like that. Put that in there like that. Nope, I did it wrong. Go in there. Wait a second. I always get confused on the way these need to go. Okay, yeah, it needs to go like that. So that means we go in this side, and then we go like this. Okay? And then there's a little hole in there, and there's this little divot that goes in there like that. Oh yeah, now I remember. That's why these suck. The screws. Oh shoot, what did I forget to do? Who caught me? Who caught me? Gotta put on our thermal paste. There we go. So they put these little cutouts here so that you can run screwdrivers down for these AMD systems. For Intel and stuff, it wasn't as big of an issue. Gonna need a more different screwdriver here. You can never have enough thermal paste. That is very correct. I think it was Gamers Nexus that did the experiments with that and basically showed as long as you're adding enough, adding extra doesn't do too much. Although it did seem like there were those, I think it was the Apple Core 2 Duo era where they had too much thermal paste and eventually it kind of like caked out. Needed to be reapplied at one point. Okay, screw one down. Gonna come to the opposite corner. And when you tighten these, you don't really have to like crank them down. You just want to make sure that they're snug. The springs on the screws are what really hold down the tension there. Okay, so that's good there. And now you're gonna watch me struggle with these stupid spring clip things. I hate these kind of fan retention dealies. So it clips into this little groove there. And that one clips over here. And that goes on there. This isn't as tight as I'd like it to be, but it should be fine for our purposes. And let's plug that fan in. Okay, Now, do we have two more? We got our front panel connectors. Gonna need a speaker. Always want to have a nice speaker. Power switch. There. Power LED. It's there. Reset switch. And hard drive light. All right, what do we have? Oh yeah, we got two more chassis fans. We are going to be in all blue glory here in a second. I even found a blue SATA cable for this. All right, hopefully this should work. What is the CPU speed? So I think I'd have to look this up. I think this one, actually we might be overclocking, so it doesn't matter. I think it's 3.7 gigahertz with a 4 gigahertz boost clock. But someone can look that up and correct me. So there's a AMD FX-8320 CPU. Get in there. All right, we need our PCI power connector. Let's run this underneath. Martin Mack is here. How's it going? Okay. The one thing I really don't like about this case is you can't access the power button with the front panel closed, but nice thing, look at this. There's a power and reset button right on the motherboard. How cool is that? All right, let's shut this off and let's get some electricity and a monitor. Let's go straight HDMI without the adapter. Let's see if that works. And I guess we should plug a keyboard in. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm pretty much overconfident here that this thing's just gonna power up. Let's plug in a mouse. Don't forget the memory. The memory's already in there. Yeah, they came pre-installed with memory. Just bought a 2080 Ti, nice. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's good. Nothing exploded when we turned on our power supply. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got stuff happening in our postcode. And let's switch up our source. I think we're on HDMI 2. Yeah, booting right up. Sweet. So it's probably going to crash because the hardware configuration's wrong. But Windows 10 is pretty good about recovering from that kind of thing. Yeah, I think it just figured out that this hardware is wrong. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Our fan isn't running for our CPU cooler. That's not a good thing. All right, I will be right back. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. All right, let's shut this down. Yeah, we're just burning in the GPU paste. Shut down. Darn, this is supposed to be a good one. I got one. I don't know if it's blue though. This one might be red. That'll really upset me if this is a red fan. Oh, yeah, that was getting warm already. Hope that fan header's not fried. That would suck. Ah, dang. Okay, so that's why. Yeah, we can always switch up one of the things. So that's why there's these things here. Because those clips did not hold the fan on tight. So we have these super high-tech spacers made out of double-sided tape. Oh, no, don't want to peel off the thing. So let's make sure they go on there like that. Goes there around that. Tape technology, that's right, Dave. We use any technology that we can get. This isn't even super jank. Oh, yeah, these clips are not ideal. I am so not a fan of these clips. Come on, get in there, you jerk. There it goes. Okay. Let's try this one. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, it is blue. All right. Look at that. And this system, look at this old school window. Oh yeah, that's gonna be sweet. So much blue. All right, so let's turn the lights back on. Oof. Hold your eyeballs. Sorry, should have warned you. All right, we're gonna set this aside for the time being now that we know it works. Oh God, this is heavy. This is heavy. All right, we're about to drop our mouse. Oh God, oh God. Oh geez, we dropped our keyboard. We're dropping everything here. Alright, let's put something interesting on the BigBadBench. Yeah, remember the SSDs rattling around. It's an SSD. That's part of the reason you use SSDs. I installed a fancy new keyboard tray underneath my bench so that I can actually, underneath the BigBadBench, so that I can use my mouse without being on top of everything. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, oh shoot, we're gonna have to connect this to the interwebs. Where's some interwebs? There's some interwebs. Oh yeah, we're slowing down a little bit. Let's see what our task manager looks like here. Let's see all of our CPU cores here. There we go. Currently running at 3.7 gigahertz. That's nice. We got 16 gigs of RAM. I think our RAM speed is not correct, so we might want to update that before we start our benchmarking. Yeah, let's see if this thing's actually ready for Windows 11. All right, cool. So we'll let this go for a little bit. Look at all the CPU usage. Just oh, look at all these things. Look at all that CPU usage just doing the Windows updates. It's okay, we don't want this. All right, so let's get to our 286 system. Yeah, let's we'll give this some time. We got other work to work on in the meantime. So our 286, let's change up our thing here. You don't need to look at me. You want to look at this beautiful motherboard. Look at this beautiful motherboard. Okay, so right, remember what we were working on last time? 2 weeks ago when we looked at this board, it was like covered in green over here. And so last week we ground away a lot of the corrosion after I had previously soaked it in the ultrasonic bath. And so all these traces are now covered in copper or in solder. There was one bad trace, which I'm totally surprised about, because I thought this thing was going to be just like bad trace after bad trace after bad trace. We put sockets in here for these two chips. This one was originally soldered in. This one was in a socket, but the socket was bad. But when we were working on this, we saw that there were all kinds of cracked capacitors. And so what we need to do is replace those cracked capacitors. So what do we got here? We've got these ceramic disc capacitors. So this one, there was only one of these. I think this is a 5,000 picofarad. And that one went here. 5,000 picofarad is the same thing as 5 microfarad for all the math nerds out there. Oh man, I don't know if we're going to be able to let that Windows update happen. Or I don't know if we'll be done our Windows updates before the stream is over. But yeah. Okay. So, do you want to see this under the microscope? Ooh, sorry, that was ugly. Let's go to microscope time. I'm not used to having my mouse in a convenient location. I'm all wacky here. Okay, here we go. Oh, Gutbomb just played a game of chess with Bianca. Who won? There we go. There's that thing. Okay. My workshop has been cold, so this solder is taking a little while to flow. Okay, let's clean our tip, see if that makes it go up. Nice. Okay. I have been using my space heater as a board preheater. I forgot to put this board on it though. Yeah, I think we're gonna use the Chungus soldering iron for this. That is not flowing nicely. Unacceptable. Okay, now I just need to find my side cutters, which were just here right before the stream. Bring out the huge weller. Yes, we are. No, it's just that my small weller, the tips don't have enough thermal mass to transfer efficiently. So we're going to use the big soldering iron for this mess. How are we doing on our Windows updates? Well, our CPU usage is way down. So it's waiting. We're at 20% on one update, 8% on another update. Give it some time. Yeah, no, my small iron is set at 425 degrees, which is plenty for this kind of work. It's just that it just doesn't flow nice when it's cold like this. Plus, I think there's like a ground plane in there somewhere. Okay, so we're done with the 5,000 picofarad caps. We can put those away. Gonna need a new drawer for disk capacitors. Okay, we're gonna get a bunch of those. Look at the legs on this. All bent weird. That's weird. So that's a 47 picofarad for another location. Let's see if our soldering iron is hot. Oof, let's clean our tip. There we go. See, when you have more thermal mass, it definitely helps the flow out. Okay, so that's that spot. Now, over here, we had, I believe these were both 47 picofarads. Oh, that fits. Yeah, look at that. Still don't like it. I think I'm going to straighten it out. Don't like it. Don't like it. There we go. Okay, that one will go there. All right, that's lovely. And now, so we can get rid of those. We're gonna have all of, oh, that's another one. We're gonna have to figure out what to put in there. So that one was this, and this technically tests fine, but these old tantalums are a little sketchy. So that's a 47 microfarad, 16 volts. Let's see what we got here. We should have some of those. Yeah, we got them. So we'll use an electrolytic. So we'll use a 47 microfarad, 16 volt electrolytic in that spot. And we should double check to make sure. Where was that spot? There's that spot. All right, let's just double check to make sure we know which side is ground, because I think all of the markings got erased or removed. Okay. So I think this is probably the ground. Nope. All right, that's the ground side. Okay. So this was that side. Okay. So the symptom on this thing was that it would sort of boot, but then it would just like restart. And so I think it might have to do with the not having all the caps in there that it required. So we'll find out. It also didn't seem to be holding all the CMOS settings quite correctly. Alright, so that's all those. Now we're gonna need, yep, all these. So these are all 10 nanofarad. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we finished one of our downloads. We have another one at 5%. We have some pending installs. We have some installing. Our Windows updates are progressing. Boop. Dog hair. Don't need dog hairs in this install. Oh, where are we? I lost you. Sorry, we went too far that way. There we go. Oh, and it'll drive me nuts if I don't have them all oriented in the same direction. So let's put them all in the same direction. Oh, wait a second. Something doesn't look right there. I see the remnants of markings. That would make me think there's only 4 there. So let's see that. Let's see, where is it? See that little mark right there? Right inside there. That would make me think that those, and that via is kind of tiny, so that makes me think it's a regular via, not a capacitor location. So, oh, I think I desoldered one of the wrong holes. Yep. So this is supposed to go like that. That's one of the issues when you have to sort of get rid of your solder, or all of your markings. So yeah, that goes like that. And then that one goes like that. And then I didn't take out the solder from that hole. So that's what had me confused. All right, good. Yeah, there's footage of this from last week. I could go back and double check, but I'm pretty sure that's correct how we have it right now. So that's one of the dangers of getting rid of your silk screening. So always make sure you have good pictures of your board before you start doing this. Otherwise, you could attach a capacitor to a place that it shouldn't go. It probably wouldn't hurt anything, but why would you want that to happen? Okay, so that's 4 of them. Let's trim that. All right, so now we have this. I think what we're gonna do is use some solder braid to get rid of that. And of course, I didn't get it all. So let's go back to this side. There we go. Nice job, solder braid. I think this should be the last cap that we need to deal with. All right. We are totally going to blow the circuit here on my workshop. Between my little space heater, maybe I'll shut the space heater off. Using an AMD FX system on my soldering irons. All right, we got another thing that was at 0% installing. We're now at 71%. We got a download at 10%. We got a lot more activity happening here. All right, so this should all be good to go now. Should we go nuts and just put it in the case? Let's just go nuts and put it in the case. We kind of know it works from last week, right? Look at this hard drive. Oh, I'm so excited to hear this thing spin up, I hope. Hopefully this thing spins up. So actually one of the things I'm going to do right now, before I spin these up, I like to stick them on the space heater for a little bit so that, you know, it kind of warms up if in case the lubrication is a little old. Sometimes heating it up can get it to flow a little better. So, and also like expanding the metal at different rates so that you can actually like it encourages, in case there's like head stiction, to unstiction. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to clean this case out. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning here. What all we got going on? Man, they put actual standoffs in there with screws. That's dedication. We're gonna use a plastic standoff in that location. Nice standoff. Ugh. Yeah, you probably don't want to use a space heater and a UPS. Where's my little thing of standoffs? Oh, here we go. Oh, right. We gotta clean this thing first. Sorry. Get some epic cleaning action going. This actually isn't that bad. It's just kind of dusty. Compared to that 5150 and the 5170 that I worked on, this thing's like clean as a baby. What? That's not a... That's not a simile. Yeah, we had, what was it, last week wasn't too bad. It was actually like 40s, and I think one day hit like 50. But yesterday and today it's sort of maxed out at, or 2 days this week, kind of maxed out right around freezing. So it's been kind of cold, and overnight it's been going down to about 17 degrees, which I'm sorry, I don't know the conversion for that off the top of my head into Celsius. But 17 degrees is very cold. The dogs don't like going out in the morning when it's 17 degrees. Luckily here, it rarely gets much colder than that. I mean, typically for like a week sometime in February or late January, our temperatures max out around like 17 degrees, but normally we're in the 20s and 30s in the winter. And Justin D. Morgan's here. How's it going, Justin? Okay, where's our board? I just lost it. All right, so we have standoffs in the case. This one, we're going to use a plastic standoff. And we're just gonna slide this beastie on in here. And get all these out of underneath. They all got crammed in under the board. I don't want them crammed in under the board. Okay. All right. That went in relatively nicely. So hopefully I have enough of these screws. Everything in this system had this Loctite on it, which was kind of awesome. I love that they had gone through the trouble of preventing their screws from loosening, and they hadn't loosened in however-ish many years that was. So it worked. It worked. Of course, now it doesn't look like anything really wants to line up here. And of course I'm being a little silly and trying to find all the screws that had the Loctite on them. Thread lock, whatever. Yeah, my Cheap PC Challenge PC is doing some work in the background here. We're installing Windows updates. Or this is my second Cheap PC Challenge PC. That goes along with the new rules, Amber. Okay. Board in. And we need a power supply. This was the power supply that was originally in this system. We took it out using that 486 system for a little while, but this is its real home. Let's use a couple of these screws. Oh, our installs and downloads seem to have hung a little bit. We're still at 10% and 74%. I have a splinter. It's causing me duress. All right, power supply's in. Let's start off with this job. I guess I should try to figure out where all this stuff goes. Okay, so that one goes there. That one. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing, of course. There's all the headers up in the front here. Come on, you speaker connector. There we go. There you go. All right, what else we have here? We have random things. All right, I don't think we need those. As long as we got the speaker, that's the important bit. Okay, we got our power connectors. Black connectors inside towards each other. We're going to use a really basic Cirrus Logic video card here. I haven't gone in and checked to see if all of our PCI or all of our ISA slots are working or not. So that'll be something that we'll learn. All right, and let's connect our postcode reader. Gonna need more electricity. We're also gonna need some VGA. Yeah, Justin has all the Trident cards, so I can only use the Cirrus Logics. Oh, come on, thing. This thing is still going. All right, let's switch up our source. And 3, 2, 1. All right. So we got one beep. That's a good thing. Although we're at FF, which is not a good thing. I say. Let's try it again. Yeah, we get one beep and an FF. We had hubris. We shouldn't have just installed the board. We should have done testing first. We should have done testing first. Let's try a different ISA slot, just in case there's like corrosion that happened in that slot. This is a 286 system. Has an AMD 286 10 megahertz. Oh yeah, we're pulling out the video card. All right, let's try it in this slot. Let's see if that changes anything. FF. Press F to pay respects. Huh. We broked it. It was working before, and we done broked it. What happens if we add a CMOS battery? That normally is not required, but sometimes you get weirdness. Nada. So I'm happy that we're getting a beep out of this thing, though. Let's take that off. Unplugging that. Nope. Oh, jeez. So the fact that we're getting a beep means that something's happening. Oh, let's see if we're in halt. So we're out of reset. Oh, what's our thing? Yeah, no. That should all be fine. So last time the issue was that it just kept booting all on its own. It would just constantly beep and beep and beep. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to take this apart. Let's put this back on the other thing so that we can see what's happening with that system. Should be doing our updates. Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're doing updates. That's good. Speech to text does not work very well. Where does speech to text not work very well? What context are you talking here, Eric? Oh, before we take everything out, let's just check our voltages real quick. That's always a good place to start. Oh, you're driving. All right, let's start with the basics. .507, that's dead on. Our 12 volts a little high. What happens when we plug in this hard drive? I know we're not gonna boot right now, but I want to see if that 12 volt calms down a little bit. That sounded nice. That's a nice sounding hard drive. Yeah, see, now with a hard drive in, our 12 volt hits exactly where it needs to be. So it's not our voltages. Oh, and we're no longer in FF. Yeah, that's a nice sounding hard drive. Thanks for tuning in while you're driving, Eric, but, you know, maybe you don't have to. I appreciate you coming here, but man, drive. Don't worry about attending the streams. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so on the stream last time, what happened was that it just kept auto booting. Like it would show something, it would do some RAM count up, and then restart. So this is a very different phenomenon than what we're seeing last time, which makes me think that I screwed something up. Which, you know, it's not like we ever screw anything up here at the BigBadBench, do we? No, John, never. Never, John. Yes, I appreciate your dedication, Eric. I mean, there are things called like podcasts. I generally like to listen to them when I'm driving, but you know, whatever floats your boat, and I do appreciate you tuning in. Okay, let's get this thing out of here, and let's have a good cry. And let's set this back down here by itself. Let's put our case over here. Okay. All right, so one of my things that I always love trying when I'm diagnosing something like this is what happens if we just do that. Let's try to boot it up outside of the case and see what happens. Okay, we got a thing that we're installing. We got other stuff that's pending restart. We are getting close there. Where did I just put my video card? There it is. There it is. That is correct, Steve. FFF. Okay. Oh, we're not going to get a beep without a speaker installed. Okay, so we got our beep. All right, so let's take a look at the back of the board. See if I just did something stupid. Let's try one more RAM slot real quick. or not RAM slot, ISA slot. Oh, it's not going to boot up without the power connected. Nope. FFs. FFs. All right, John, what did you screw up? What did you screw up? So I guess one quick thing is just make sure that all these chips are seated. I did move the board around a lot. These all could use a little reseating. It's kind of like it was stuck before the ROM started doing something. Might have to break out the oscilloscope. I don't have my chip puller here. I think it's at work. So I don't want to try taking out the CPU. But that's also a thing that should probably be, maybe reseat the CPU. FF. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick. I don't think I took out the CPU last time. It's not the nastiest thing that the system has had. All right, let's do the old, yeah, just deoxid it and that'll fix everything. Now, let's try reseating our ROMs real quick, and then we'll break out the oscilloscope. Yeah, these systems work better without the CPU. The sockets look a little gross. Okay, let's try this again. FF. Okay, let's find the oscilloscope. We're still at 74% on an install over there. And where is my oscilloscope? Oh, I bought a new oscilloscope too. Should try that now. All right. Tell it to FF itself. That's a cute one. That was a good one. I like it, Steve. Let's see. I don't know if I have enough USB ports on my computer. Hello? Okay, yeah, now you can hear me. Yeah, that's why we don't do that. Don't unplug that one, John. Yeah, that's what we need to try to start diagnosing what's going on here with this thing. All right, let's see here. Sorry, one moment please, as I futz around trying to find the oscilloscope software. Okay, so we're gonna go onto a ground. I don't remember my ISA pinouts. Who has their ISA pinouts memorized? There's stuff happening. Okay. So one moment, let me try to get this thing. All right, Epictronics, thanks for stopping by. Happy holidays to you. How's that? Does that show up right? Yay. So what I'm looking at here, I think, is the ISA clock. Let's look this up again. I used to have this known. ISA pinout. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 from this end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, no, actually that's beautiful. Okay, so that's good. right? That means we have our ISA clock, right? So I'm now, oh, I'm here. You can't really see that, but yeah, we've got our 10 megahertz ISA clock. So that's something. Now what we need to do is figure out if we have a CPU clock. So we're gonna need to look up, let's go back here for now. AMD 286 pinout. All right, so theoretically, this should be address line 0. Oh yeah, no, that, oh, that's kind of working. Wow, that CPU is hot. All right, so let's go back to this. Okay, so that's address line 0, address line 1, address line 2, and clock. This is saying CPU frequency of 20 megahertz. That should not be a thing. Okay. That might explain why it's so hot and also why it's not doing anything. Turbo LED. This case didn't have a turbo switch, did it? Yeah, this case does have a turbo switch. Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's see. All right, let me give you a different window. Oh gosh, not that one. Oh God. Let's see what we have for documentation. Come on, do something. Come on, RetroWeb. Oh, the RetroWeb is a killer website. If you have anything that you need to work on with old systems, they can hook you up. Lots to learn here. I don't know why it's buggy right now. Okay. So what we can see here is there are headers for things. There's one thing over here labeled hard switch. I'm wondering if that's our turbo switch over here. But I can't get the stupid settings. Oh, wait a second. Maybe the Statson. Statson's always good for this kind of stuff. What's J5? Nope. Yeah, actually, that's a great idea, Steve. We'll do the... See, now, here Statson's wrong. Okay, so this is telling us that the turbo switch is J3, right? If we look at the board, this is where J3 is, and it's the turbo LED. So that's not quite right. Let's... Alright. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's try something here. Because this one is labeled hard switch, this jumper. So I'm wondering if that's our turbo switch. I'm wondering what happens here. So let's jumper that thing. Oh, our system is ready for restarting. We're ready for restarting. Okay, get some jumpers. So let's plug in our hard switch here. And then let's turn this thing on. We still got our FF. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so yeah, we'll take a look at this. This? No, not that. This? Oh my gosh, did I break my thing? Oh geez, I'm sorry. We want to do this. Okay, so that is our turbo switch over there, and we're now in a low turbo state, right? So before we were running at 20 megahertz and now we're at 12. So this is our low turbo state. So what is messed up with our clock, right? That clock should be dividing by half. So maybe one of the things I fixed over there helped divide up the clock speed, and now it's broken. So I mean, the oscillator's good. The oscillator should be running at 20 megahertz, unless the 286 is supposed to be. I don't think it would have an input clock frequency of 20 megahertz. That just seems silly. Right? So now if we take this, and now we're up to 20 megahertz when we take our jumper off. Now we put our jumper on, we're back down to 12. So theoretically that should be 10 megahertz and 6 megahertz on the CPU clock. So I think the oscillator is fine. I think there's some sort of circuit that divides up the oscillator in half that's messed up. I'm gonna have to look something up. Like, I wonder, because this board is so close to the regular 5170. I'm wondering if there's something. Oh, that's restarted. If there's something on that the 5170 motherboard diagram would tell us about how the clocks are derived. The ISA clock looked good, but there's no way the CPU should be getting 20 megahertz. That's just not. You shouldn't have a 20 megahertz 286. So, and the oscillator's right here, but there's got to be something that kind of divides it up. If we look, yeah, I can't really see which one of these is the outs. I guess we can plug it in and figure out which one is the out. Try to figure out where it goes. Do this the hard way, hard mode. It would be kind of interesting if I just threw in like a 10 megahertz oscillator and see if that fixed it. Let's plug that back in. Okay, so first we'll do pin 1. No. That one, no. Okay, so this pin, that corner is the one that drives the oscillator, or the oscillator output. Okay, so we're coming out of the oscillator, which is 20, and we're going through this resistor, which is R24. We can see our 20 megahertz there. Yeah, I guess I should look up the spec on the CPU and see if it actually does divide it internally. That would be weird though for a 286. Because this thing's getting hot. Normally a 286 doesn't get that hot. That pops out. Am I missing a capacitor at 129? I don't think there was a capacitor there, but there is clock on that side of that capacitor. Gonna have to go back and look at my old footage, but I don't think there was a capacitor there. There's a 6 megahertz clock there. 6 megahertz clock there. We got a 10 megahertz clock there. So the clock is being divided somewhere along the lines. Darn it. Well, that's fun. That is an unexpected fun surprise. Ah, jeez. Ah, jeez. Oh, Justin pulled it, and it is divided internally. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, that tells us something. All right. But why is it getting that hot? That is hot. Now I kind of want to go in and unsolder all the capacitors that I put back in there. I feel the weirdest about this one. pop this one out. Cool. Thank you for looking that up, Justin. That was a big thing to learn. Guess we could also look. I don't see anything shorted, like that maybe I was connected something that I shouldn't have. Oh, this thing's doing a thing. No, we're not going to do this right now. Windows, mind me later. Let's do some Windows updates here. I want to make sure our updates are all done before I do some benchmarking. Let's pull out this capacitor. Okay. That didn't do it. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Dropping stuff on my board. All right, let's pull out this crystal. Now I have all my words mixed up. Let's pull out this capacitor. I want to undo all the things I did. Figure out which of the things I did bad. Yeah, I'm shorted out. All right, let's try that one. Nothing. Okay, one of those out. We'll do one by one. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Nothing. Go from the other side. Nothing. Nope. All right, last one. Nope. Oh, there was one more. We did this tantalum and replaced it with an electrolytic. Nope. All right, so that means that it wasn't the capacitors that I put back in that caused issues. Something else I did. Yep. Just not doing anything. What the heck did I do? Oh, actually, while we have this out, the one thing I did have concerns about, so this little oscillator right here is for the our real-time clock. So let's see. That should be like 32 kilohertz. Oh. Well, I did something there and it caused it to restart, so that's not good. Yep. No, that's 32 kilohertz. Oh. Wait a second. I think we're actually booting now. Yeah, now it's doing that thing again. Alright. What the heck, bro? What the heck, bro? Let's put a video card in this thing and see what's happening. Oh, man. What the heck is happening? What is even? What is even? Sorry, I gotta install the AMD system. I know if I wanted this to be like super performant, that I should download them and do it manually, but for our purposes, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Got blame squawkers. Yeah. I blame squawkers too. Source. Let's see if we get a thing. Okay, so this is interesting. We're getting nothing. What happens if I now touch that oscillator pin? We got really nice 32 kilohertz. When I touch that other thing, it does something else. Oh, here we go. Computers are fun. What the heck, bro? All right, one thing I want to check is which side of that crystal. I just want to double check that I'm not screwing up that this. So where this capacitor was, I just want to make sure that I have that correct. That's 5 volts on that side. And that's 0. Okay, yeah. So that was correct. So what happens? Let's shut this off and add that capacitor back in. All right, so let's try that now with that capacitor reinstalled. All right, that's interesting, right? So we're getting nothing. Now what happens? We go to our crystal, that's fine. Huh. All right, so this is weird. Oh, okay, just did it. But I had to touch the crystal. What? What? Let's plug in a keyboard. Let's plug in a keyboard and be patient this time. Let's not touch the crystal. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, I think there's something funky with that crystal. How weird is that? It is a nasty looking crystal, so, and it's just a 32 kilohertz crystal, which, you know, they're the same that we have for Macs, so I should have some of them around here. Oh, there it goes. No, I didn't do anything and it just worked. Okay. So, something's kind of, sort of, not working. Let's see what happens here. Let's go into the setup. Oh, now the keyboard's dead. We had keyboard last time. Was I just being impatient before? You gonna put those falsely accused caps back on? I might got bombed. It's gonna torture it for a little while. Let's check our keyboard connector. I don't see the clock getting to the keyboard. Huh. The 286 is hot. That's what's weird about this. And right now it's on low speed. All right, let's go check on our other system real quick. Oh, the system does not currently meet the requirements for Windows 11. Darn. Not going to be able to do my Windows 11 update on this. Okay, so that's a video card that's not in here anymore. We don't care about that. Let's do this thing. Lost Planet demo. So the CPU, well, so Justin said that the CPU internally divides the clock. So 20 megahertz should be correct, apparently. So it's not that oscillator. I currently have the jumper on, so we're running at 6 megahertz instead. So I don't know. I forget how we do the benchmarking thing for this one, but we'll let that go. Okay. Is it currently, well, yeah, let's actually double check to see what the clock is at. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that looks fun. Yeah, so we're back up 12 megahertz. I kind of want to pull that crystal and see what happens here. So let's replace that crystal. It is kind of a scarfy looking thing. I'm going to use our giant, inappropriately sized soldering iron. Oh. There we go. Hey, Alan, thanks for stopping by, man. Happy holidays to you. Kind of like soldering boards on the side like this. Okay, so there's our scarfy little crystal. Let's see if this does anything. Where are crystals? I should have some here somewhere. Where'd all my crystals go? Oh, there they are. Duh. Okay, here we go. All right, let's find one of these little things. Oh yeah, I love my crystals. I'm soldering this so janky. Okay, let's put this down and actually desolder that right with some solder braid. There we go. That worked so much nicer. And now I lost my crystal. Here we go. Okie dokie. Just want to double check to make sure that that external bit is kind of grounded. Okay, that's good. Plug our keyboard in. Video card. Three, two, one. Okay, so our snow for Tech Amber's thing is 398. 398. Okay, let's stop this thing. Kind of done with this. And now, got to go to here and then there. Don't need to play this, we just need to see your description and go to Octane. Start Octane. Okay, let's change up our source. Okay, so that's doing a thing. Yeah, we're still not getting the keyboard. So that sucks. What happens now if we do this? Oh, was it caves, not snow? All right, well, I'll check. Check it again. Okay, you gonna do a thing here? Okay, there we go. F1. Let's give it some time just because it's slow. Okay, our Octane score is 25,400. Oh, gonna have to go to our old one. Sorry, my arm isn't a good mouse pad. And neither is the top of this computer. Oh my God, I've been going for 2 hours and 14 minutes. This is nuts. Ah. All right. Someone check for me that which section it's supposed to be in. Where's my pass mark? I think for this one, CPU benchmark. All right. Oh, you are correct, Justin. It is the caves, not the snow. All right, so I'll have to fix that. Run that one again. Oh, yeah, I want to go back to this and see if it eventually let us into the BIOS. It has not, so it is not seeing the keyboard. Okay, so we have it booting up. That's something. I don't know, man. I think I'm far too in today. I can't go for more than an hour and a half normally. This is wild. So we definitely have it turning on. It's not doing all the things it should be doing though. So that kind of sucks. Last time the keyboard did actually work, so that's a little frustrating. Yeah, I think we're going to call it for today. Keyboard bias, maybe a bad connection. Yeah, that's theoretically. Well, I mean, it worked last time. So that's the weird bit. Come on, TV, turn back on. This TV likes to go to sleep. Okay, so our CPU mark was 8551. And then let's go back and run that thing again. Okay. Well, at least we'll have this part done for today, sort of. I might do a little bit more benchmarking tomorrow during the 12-hour stream, do a little overclocking. But it's good to see that the system booted right up and didn't need anything. Like, it just went. It went. Okay. So, what are we going to do? Oh, look, my hat's all askew. Gut Bomb's hat. Okay, so what we're going to do is say goodnight. I think Tech Ambrosia's streaming this afternoon, so definitely check that out. I think she's going to open a box of stuff that I sent her. And yeah, definitely check out Trina's 12-hour stream tomorrow. And thank you all for stopping by. Happy holidays. I know this is a hard time of year for people. So if you ever feel stressed out about that kind of thing, feel free to hit me up if you need an ear to talk to. So BigBadBiologist at bitbang.social. Send me a direct message. I'm happy to chat if you ever need someone to talk to. So have a lovely holiday. I'm not sure if I'll be able to stream next. Oh, I know I won't be able to stream next Saturday. So I might not be streaming until the new year. So happy doscember, and maybe I'll see you next year's. And Mac84 wants to talk about capacitors haunting him. Yeah, the ghosts of capacitors past. All right, have a great week, y'all.